and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the day street. Well, the Nifty is hovering around 25,400 odd mark, 33 points higher in trade. Remember, today is the day when both the Sensex and the Nifty have actually hit new record high levels in the intraday basis. But what has happened is that below the surface, there's a lot more pain, especially in the broader markets. If you see, these two indices, the mid and the small caps, are actually reeling under severe pressure. Small caps are down by 1.6% and the mid caps are also down by 1.2%. And several other sectors have actually slipped into the red. Nifty Bank, however, is still holding above that 53,000 mark, up by almost 0.5%, so that's a good part. But look at the mid-cap crash that we have actually seen. You've actually seen the mid and the small caps crash down sharply in trade today. Along with that, we've seen media stocks, oil and gas, PSU banks, metals, pharma, IT, all of them coming under severe pressure. IT, remember, in the morning trading session was up by over 1%, but all of that has also lost ground midway. What is still holding up on the Nifty? You have NTPC, which is still up 2.5% odd. You have Nestle, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Titan, Maruti, HUL. These are the stocks that are still up by about 1.5%. Remember, in the morning session, it was just about 4-5 stocks that were down in the red, but the count has actually severely increased. Which are the counters that are actually slipping the most on the Nifty? BPCL, ONGC, down by over 2 and 3% each. Coal India, Adani Ports, HCL Tech, Shriram Finance, these are the counters that are under severe pressure. The PSE index is definitely reeling under severe pressure. The Nifty Public Sector Enterprises Index, that index is now down by nearly 2%. All of the stocks here have slipped into the red, barring just a handful, and within that is the NTPC stock as well. When we look at the broader markets, very far and few between stocks will actually look up into the broadest markets, that's the Nifty 500 space. So stocks like Nandan Denim, they have been continuing to be in thick trade, 9% higher in trade. Look at the kind of move that we are seeing on KPR Mill, that's up 7%. From the healthcare pack, Rainbow Children's Medicare is up by 6.7%. You also have EMS Limited that's up today. Butterfly Gandhimati Appliances is up. This stock has been in thick trade too. Gopal Snacks is also moving up. You have Gokal Das Exports that's up by 5 odd percent. Dredging Corporation of India within the PSUs is still up in, as well. About 5 odd percent can be seen on this one. Wockhardt Pharmaceuticals is a buzzing stock today. 5% higher is what we see this stock at. So these are the kind of stocks that are still holding up, but there's a sharp fall on stocks like Vodafone Idea. Let's pull up that stock now to see how is the kind of fall that we are seeing at. It's 18.9% lower at 10.45%. It's a sharp fall on Vodafone Idea, and this comes on the back of Supreme Court rejecting the plea of telecom companies, which was to waiver and to provide some relief as far as some AGR dues are concerned. That plea has got rejected. That was one of the biggest hopes that Vodafone Idea was rising on, and there you have it as a knee-jerk reaction. Along with this, Indus Towers has crashed over 10%. The entire sector seems to be under pressure as well. Time to welcome our guest on the show. Kush Godasara, market expert, is now with us. Warm welcome to you, Kush, and thank you so much for taking the time out. First up, tell us how are you assessing this market? On the one hand, we were celebrating record high levels on the index level, benchmarks, Sensex and the Nifty, but below the surface, there was a lot more pain, especially in the broader markets we are seeing, and most of the investors' portfolios are actually sharply lower in trade. So what is really happening? How should one be really viewing the current market setup?
Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me. So first, starting with the what has happened in the market, I believe this telecom news and multiple news in different sectors have led stocks down, and which is why small cap and mid cap are losing. Secondly, definitely we had seen a life high in the morning, but I believe it's just expiry move. We are in pressure. I think 25,400 and 25,500 strike price had seen the maximum option open interest. But tomorrow we may again see a new high because global markets are yet positive. Gold and silver is supporting. So I think today's move on Nifty is just a matter of time. Third question about why investors' portfolio are in red is because most of the stocks in the portfolio were PSU stocks because in last few months we have seen defense stocks, BEL, BHEL, are moving in a multi-bagger stock. So we think this is the reason why today PSU banks are the most underperforming. That is why investors, retail portfolios are not performing.
Okay. Okay, Kush, in this difficult kind of a market setup, where are you keeping your focus in trade? Are you still looking at some buying opportunities in these dips, or are you actually staying on the sidelines to see how much more drubbing can we actually see in the markets right now?
No, definitely, I believe we should take a risk of going BTST, but stock specific like auto sector and Reliance. So from auto sector, I believe M&M, it's at the good support level. Since the morning, we have seen some profit booking. So M&M is a good buy with the stop loss of 27.80. Target in a day or two can be around 28.60. While Reliance is also looking strong because today we saw good profit booking, but from the lows it has recovered. So Reliance Industries is looking good. 29.20 is the stop loss. While on the upside, we may see 3080 levels by next week.
Okay, got it. So that's the kind of view that's coming in. But let me start off with the pain point also with you, Kush. Vodafone Idea, something that I was mentioning, and Indus Towers and the entire telecom space. I think the investors across are actually worried about because they had taken sharp positions on, Vodafone Idea and several other telecom stocks in hopes that, things would be turning for the better for the entire sector. But here comes this sharp drag. Now 21% lower for Vodafone Idea. That's the kind of fall that we are seeing on an intraday levels. It's at 10.2 rupees. We do not know how much more downside is there. How are you really looking at this stock?
As a disclosure, I have Vodafone Idea in my portfolio and still I'm holding on it because definitely today's news are a little bit upsetting for the telecom sector. But I believe, it's a good risky bet yet because we have not seen Vodafone Idea, going out of the business, telecom business. We have government holding. So I mean, it will take time to turn around, but definitely the company is not going bankrupt or something because even government, practically speaking, government also doesn't want oligopoly in the market. So I think Vodafone Idea it's a good hit today. Maybe it's not a trading stock, but if you're an investor and if you are planning to risk your capital, a little bit of 1% of your capital, you can consider this as an opportunity to buy Vodafone Idea at around this level. Stop loss would be around 8 rupees. I believe, for a 4 to 5 years horizon, I'm still a bit positive on Vodafone Idea.
Okay, got it. So that's the kind of view that's coming in. Let's also get you to address one other pain point as well, and that is the IT space. IT was the biggest laggard yesterday. It moved up with a sharp recovery in the morning trading session, but it's again come under the selling pressure across the kind of markets that we are seeing right now. How are you looking at the IT space right now? Is this just for the interim? Could, on the hindsight, these be better entry levels for IT space stocks? How would you really look at them?
Definitely, IT stocks, I believe, are now heading towards a time-wise consolidation. I don't believe there will be a great correction or a great rally. I think there will be a sideways momentum because we Indian IT stocks are in overbought zone. But looking at Nasdaq futures, I believe IT stocks will be in momentum again tomorrow. So I believe it's not a trading opportunity as of now in IT sector. If one of you have even if you have initiated a long position IT stock, it's time to book profits. I believe we should shift to more high beta sectors like financials for trading perspective. So I'm not bearish or bullish on IT. I mean they will remain in a tight range. So avoid a trading position. Investors can still hold on.
Okay, got it. Okay, let's talk about the bright spot now, and that is the banking space as well. I think that's been the lone outperformer from last few days, and it continues to be holding up or stemming the fall for the Nifty beyond certain levels too. Private banks are the ones that are up half odd percent, leading the rally from the front, and we are seeing all names like ICICI, Kotak, Axis, HDFC, all of them pulling up in trade too. How would you really look at the top 3 or 4 private banking counters right now, and where do you find most confidence to actually place your bets at these levels?
So if you talk about private sector bank in particular, I believe HDFC Bank is still going to be the leader because if you look at the HDFC Bank charts, it was in a tight range of 1620 to 1660, just a range of 40 rupees for almost 3 months. Finally, we have seen a breakout and we are heading towards 1780 to 1800 on HDFC Bank. So I believe HDFC Bank is a private sector bank which one should look out for trading. Of course, ICICI Axis Kotak looks good, but I believe leader would be HDFC Bank because it has the highest weightage on the bank nifty. So it's obvious that if bank nifty is going to attain new highs, HDFC Bank has to perform, and it has started showing signs of supporting. So I believe HDFC Bank should be bought at current levels.
Okay, got it. HDFC Bank should be something that should be on top of your radar. All right, so that's as far as the private banks are concerned. How about the financial services space as well? This has been again an outperformer too. Now, be it the NBFCs, the home financing companies, they have been outperforming. Any key stocks that have come afresh onto your radar where you feel the momentum is just right to begin?
Definitely, if you have patience, then I think Geo Financial is a good stock. I know most of them don't talk about Geo Financials as it's a range bound, but I believe looking at the charts, it's at good support levels. So with the stop loss of 330, I would go, buy Geo Financials. On the upside, I think 370 is the target by Diwali. So, Bajaj Queens have already moved due to IPO. Other gold financial companies have also given a good rally because of the gold price hike. So, but Geo is the only stock which I believe has underperformed, and it has chances of going out in north direction.
Okay, so geofinance is something that you can look at right now. Do you also have a favorite in the PSU banking space, or would you rather wait for the momentum to come back?
No, I have a favorite stock as of now. As a disclosure, I have just initiated the call from my clients. That is on
Okay.
SBI. SBI futures looks good to me. It's a risky bet, of course, but I believe it's at a good support point. So with the stop loss of 785, SBI can be bought for BTST. I believe tomorrow we may again see 800 levels, and if one can hold for a week till the next Thursday, we may see 825. So definitely SBI is a stock where I would take a risk of going long.
Okay, got that. So that's the kind of view that's coming in on SBI right now. So keep an eye out on that stock too within the PSU banking space. Let's now discuss some of the F&O movers right now. Some interesting names are coming up. United Breweries is up by 5 odd percent. You have Jubilant Foodworks that's up by 2.5%. You also have AU Small Finance Bank, Hindustan Copper, Info Edge, Oberoi Realty, ICICI Lombard, NTPC as among the top movers. But let's get you to talk about the alco-bev space, Kush, the liquor space which has been in thick trade, and this is also because the Andhra Pradesh liquor policy has gone through a change as well, so that's also pulling up the stocks higher. But these stocks were already in momentum over the last few odd trading sessions as well. Do you have a favorite here? Where do you think investors can still buy afresh within this space?
I think UBL is a stock where investors can still buy afresh. Of course, not for a trading perspective, but if you have a say view of next 2 to 3 years, I believe alcohol sector is going to outperform. There is a fundamental reason that the change in today's society about thinking towards alcohol has changed. I remember before 2 decades, all of there was a completely opposite view on the alcohol sector. But I think now this is a good sector to invest for 5 years. Multi-bagger, UBL is a stock you can buy with the stop loss of 2090. On the upside, we may see 2600 as an investment. So definitely, if you are looking for a 6 months investment, UBL is the stock.
UBL is the stock that you should be looking at. United Breweries currently at 2130, about 4% higher in trade. So keep an eye out on the liquor space, and within that, United Breweries could be in thick trade. Apart from this, what we began by talking about, the pain point that emerged in the markets today is from the epicenter is the mid and the small caps. That's the kind of space where pain is emerging from. Kush, what are the reasons you feel the mid and the small caps are crashing? in trade today. Although there is some recovery now happening from the lowest point, you are actually seeing about 0.6% of a dip right now in the mid caps. So it's definitely seen some buying emerge. But what are the key reasons, and is this a sign of some recovery returning maybe tomorrow?
Yes, definitely. The key reasons maybe, most of the telecom stocks like Indus Tower, Vodafone Idea were all part of CNX small cap. Secondly, PSU stocks like defense stocks are part of mid cap. So, because of the few stocks which has a weightage and they have seen a deep red today. That is the reason why, these both indices are in red. But I believe things will turn around. So definitely tomorrow, I believe at least if not outperform, they will be in green.
Okay, they will be in green. That's the kind of expectation that we have right now as far as some of these mid and small cap sectors are concerned. Okay, let's look at what else can we understand from Kush right now. Any key sector or stock that we can pick out for him to give us a sense of where can we look for some value. Okay, I'll talk to you about the new age internet space. Some of the interesting names which we have talked before are Zomato. Today again there is also move on PB FinTech as well. So those are the spaces, and apart from this, Brain Solutions is the other one. This is another newly listed IPO, newly listed company. It's the parent company of First Cry, which is the children's or the infants. Clothing store as well. There were two brokerage houses that came out with a strong buy and initiated buy on these two stocks, and therefore the stock was higher. It's come off under pressure too. But anything within these new age internet companies that you're looking at as well?
Definitely, as a disclosure, we have already discussed about Zomato, which I'm holding. I still believe Zomato can be a turnaround. So Zomato is a space where still, if you want to be a safe bet, one can pitch in on Zomato. 250 can be a stop loss. Target on the upside would be 380 as an investment. Because now Blinkit has turned around. Even they are coming with a discrete application where bookings are done. And the currently Diljit Dosanjh shows around the India are booked through Zomato. So I mean that is a kind of turnaround we are seeing. So Zomato is a good buy. Secondly, I think even a brain base is a good buy for 4 to 5 years. I mean
Okay.
things are turning around for baby infants products. I mean people were not used to having a branded stuff for the infants, but now they are turning around. So if you are looking for a short-term investment, go for Zomato. If you have a plan for next 4 to 5 years, go for Brainbees.
Okay, got it. So that's the kind of viewpoint there is on the newly listed and the recently listed stock spaces too. Let's look at one more space. The FMCG space is gaining some more traction, about half odd percent higher. Stocks that are contributing are Nestle. You also have Tata Consumer Products that's picking up pace as well. What do you foresee within the FMCG space? Where would you keep your attention right now if you have to take a positional bet on some of these stocks within the FMCG space, Kush? Where would you be looking at to buy?
I would be buying Tata Consumer. I believe still value unlocking of Tata Consumer is still going to happen just because of Starbucks. The way Starbucks is expanding around India, and that too to tier one cities, not just mega and metro, but down to tier one cities on the highways. So that's what I have seen in Gujarat at least. So multiple stores in last 5 years we have seen almost 20 stores coming up simply just in Gujarat. So I think Tata Consumers is a good buy positionally. We have seen a consolidation. So by Diwali, we can see a good 10% up. Buy with the stop loss of 1180. We may see 1400 by Diwali. And if you're a long-term investor, this could be a multi-bagger.
Okay, got it. So that's the kind of view that's coming in, a multi-bagger idea for you in case you have the patience to hold on to a stock for about 1 year or 2 years perspective. Then this is something that you should definitely keep an eye out on right there, viewers. Okay, let's again look at some of the other gainers right now. What else has pulled up? So I have already mentioned PB FinTech, 5.2% higher. Do you also have a view here on PB FinTech as well, Kush, at these current levels?
Not at current levels, but definitely I missed out while discussing about the new age stock. PB FinTech is a good stock to invest for long term, but not at current levels. I will be waiting for a correction around 1700, where it's a good support zone. I believe the stock has given a fresh breakout at 1700 of ascending triangle, which has activated targets of minimum of 2300 from current levels. So I think PB FinTech is a good option.
Okay, got it. So that's the kind of view that's coming in on PB FinTech as well. Let's look at some more ideas that are actually doing well within the broader markets. We have the same names that I have mentioned. On the Nifty Next 50, do we have any interesting names? Okay, Varun Beverages is about 1% higher. That's not lost its ground. It's still holding up. Banks and financial services clearly in the thick of trade. Indostar Capital up 5.5%. Repco Home Finance up 5%. Awas Financiers 3% higher. Access Grameen up 2%. Aditya Birla Capital, that's up another 1%. We've discussed this space as well. This space is showing some thick trade that's happening right there. Let's also pull up some of the defense counters. Let's pull up GRSE to see if it is still holding on to that move. Remember, in the morning it had got a huge order, and therefore there was this 5.5% kind of a move. No, it's slipped off now. Again, 0.8% lower in trade. It's come under pressure too. Would you have a view on the defense names? Every surge is getting sold into Kush here. What is the key reason? They lack the kind of strength they used to have earlier, I believe.
So, Garden Ridge, Mazgaon, Cochin Shipyard, HAL, BEL, BHEL, all charts formations are the same. The only reason why they are underperforming is because they have already, given a move of 4 to 5x in last 1 year. So, when people are looking for booking their profits, they will, of course, look at stocks like defense, which has outperformed their portfolio. So, new investors, of course, as we discussed, are making a loss. But I think profit booking is still on the way. Avoid buying fresh. I believe 200 average at 1400 is a good support of Garden Reach. So I'm anticipating 1400 level by next 2 months.
Hmm. Okay, got it. So that's the kind of view that we have. Okay, one more space that's looking interesting to me. We have this entire QSR space that seems to be buzzing. Remember, Varun Beverages is something that I mentioned, the bottling plant of Pepsi. Jubilant Food was working in the F&O space. You also have Westlife Foodworks that's also moving, and Barbecue Nation Hospitality that's also buzzing in trade right now. Okay, this is interesting. Kush, now tell us, which one is your favorite outlet to order in from, and which place, which stock will you be really looking to order in?
Basically, my favorite is of course Jubilant Food, Domino's. But now I think better is I will be buying Zomato.
Okay, got it, got it. So that's the view that's coming in. Okay, got it. Let's get in some other stocks. Okay, the auto space is something we haven't touched yet. So we'll go to that, and then after that, we will be looking at the BTST trades at 320 with Kush as well. So in case you're waiting by for that, hold on for 2-3 minutes. Balkrishna Industries is up, Apollo Tyres is up, MRF is up, tire stocks are buzzing. You also have some other stocks within the entire basket. So Sundaram Fasteners, some forging companies that are up and about in trade. Then you have Gabriel, that's also up in trade as well. Auto ancillary space particularly, do you have interest in, Kush?
Yes, definitely. GN Axle is a stock which I'm tracking closely on a long-term basis. Definitely, it has been, in a consolidation zone. So, if you're a long-term investor, GN Axle is a stock which you should buy at current levels. Stop loss is just nearby as 200 average is a good support. 420 is the stop loss, while target can be 560 plus. So GNXL is a stock where from auto ancillary, which I believe can be a good multi-bagger for current levels. Other stocks have given a good move, so rather I will bet on GN.
Okay, got it. So that's the view that's coming in as far as these auto ancillary stocks are concerned as well. Okay, NTPC, let's discuss that one. Kush, this stock has been in focus right from the morning. It's not given up the gains that it was having right in the morning. And this is after NTPC Green has filed its DRHP papers for the IPO, which means we could be looking at its subsidiary getting listed on the stock exchanges pretty soon. Now, this could be interesting because it's a 10,000 crore rupee IPO that we are looking at, the largest one clearly of 2024 viewers, and also the second largest PSU IPO that you could be looking at after LIC. LIC came out with a 21,000 crore rupee IPO in the year 2022, and after that, after 2 years, you may now see a big IPO coming in from NTPC, and that too focused on renewable energy. Now, Kush, this is an interesting space. Why? Because most of the viewers and investors are now looking at sunrise sectors as those themes that could be in the works for next 5 years, next 10 years, some places which could actually turn out to be bigger opportunities for investors. NTPC Green has already been a big anticipated IPO, and now that we already know that the RHP will be filed in about another 2.5 months or so, until the time RHP is formed, investors have an opportunity to also buy NTPC and become a shareholder and just get that chance of applying in the shareholder category as well, apart from the retail category, if this new IPO, once this new IPO comes in. How are you looking at NTPC as an individual story? What kind of value creation do you think the other IPO will bring into NTPC stock from here on?
Definitely, I will buy. I am positive on NTPC, but not for for applying in IPO in a shareholder carry. But as a long-term investment, today we have seen a good breakout. Uh, 420 was a constant resistance. So if you are an investor, I believe NTPC itself is a good multi-bagger stock. 410 can be a stop loss. Targets are 500 plus. So yes, don't just buy it for the applying for the IPO in a shareholder, but buy it and then you can even apply it. So long term bet, not just IPO bet.
ओके गॉट इट। तो चलिए ये भी आपको राय यहाँ पर मिल गई है कि हाउ डू यू गो अबाउट दिस पावर स्टॉक्स एज वेल। कुछ और भी पावर स्पेस में आपको पसंद आता है अभी कुछ?
Yeah, there are two stocks, Tata Power and Suzlon. So for renewable, Suzlon is a complete turnaround. Still, we may see a good multi-bagging from current levels. So 68 to 70 is a good stop loss on Suzlon. Target at 200 plus in next 2 years. While Tata Power is a safe bet, it's a slow mover, but I believe 400 is a good support. And on the next 5 years, Tata Powers can be in four digit.
Okay, got it. So that's the kind of view that's coming in. Tata Power could be four-digit company as well. So look at that one. We'll keep an eye out on that one again. Another multi-bagger story that is being shared by Kush to you, all you viewers, in case you're looking at the renewable energy and the power space right there. Consumer durables has suddenly picked up more pace. We can see, Titan definitely surging 1.6% higher, and the index as a whole is also buzzing right now. Consumer durable space, Kush, what will you say here? Anything that looks positive? Voltas, Kalyan Jewelers, Titan, Kajaria, V-Guard, so white goods separately and the gems and the jewelry spaces separately. They are all buzzing.
I believe Titan is at good level because it has underperformed. Titan is a stock where I should look. There we can have a play of not just jewelry but many other FMCG products. So 3700 is my stop loss on Titan. For the short term target can be 38 on the upside 3900 can be your target. So definitely Titan is my stock for trading perspective from consumer durables.
Okay, got it, got it. Understood. Let's also focus on some other things as well then. Okay, 3:24, right time. Quickly, Kush, if you could highlight any BTST, ST, trades for our viewers.
Definitely, two BTST stocks. One is SBI. It's a high risk call. 793 is the current price on futures. Stop loss can be 786. Tomorrow 800 and 820 are my two targets. If you are a safe player, go on Reliance Industries with the stop loss of 2920. Target for tomorrow would be 2980. And to hedge the both long positions, I would recommend to buy 25,400 put of Nexus.
Okay, got it. So keep an eye out on these key stocks right there. Okay, one more space that I've not asked you, Kush, but this space is also garnering a lot of traction, and that is the real estate space. Now we do know whenever the rate cuts happen, the one of the sectors that actually gets benefit of lower interest rates is also the real estate sector. With the US kick-starting the rate cut cycle, all eyes will be on RBI very soon to also reverse the rate cycle back home. Once that happens, do you think there could be incremental gains that one can be looking at within the real estate space? And if there is any key stock that you would like to highlight, what would that be?
Definitely, I believe a rate cut would be good momentum for the real estate stocks. But I believe not yet. On a dips, we can add Brigade Enterprise, who is a Bangalore-based developer. So Brigade Enterprise is my stock. Buy on dips with the stop loss of 1250 for 3 months. On the upside, we may see 1600 levels. So Brigade Enterprise is a stock, but it's for investment, and you have to buy on dips.
Have to buy on dips. Okay, got it. 326. We are 4 minutes away from the day's close. 62 points higher. We've come off the day's low point and we are somewhere there in the middle because we had gone up above 25,600 right in the morning trade. We came back sharply lower and now we are holding above 65 points higher in trade as well. These slight upticks towards the end actually give us some promise that probably all is not lost and the bulls may be looking to again garnered some gains back. Okay, one interesting. Okay, the Bharti Airtel partly paid shares, they are actually up in trade today. Let's look at that one. That's something that is looking up, and you can see a 1435 kind of a target, current price there, and the 15% uptick that you can see, and Bharti Airtel is actually coming back also from the low point of the day as well. Telecom space mein, how do you look at Bharti Airtel and Bharti partly paid shares?
I think the Bharti Airtel is a long-term bet. We should just hold on, buy on every dip and hold on and forget it. Because I believe data is the new oxygen. It's not the gold, but it's the oxygen. Today we cannot live without data. So I think, being only the major three players are in the industry, Bharti Airtel can be an outperformer. So it's an investment stock. Buy on every dip and forget it for next generation.
Okay, got it. So that's the view that's coming in on that. Do you also believe the banking space is here to stay for some more time? If one sticks around with the banking theme, one can still try to be afloat in this very, very volatile market. Kush, what would you suggest for tomorrow for our viewers between Nifty, Nifty Bank and sectorally? Where exactly should one be focusing on?
So maybe for tomorrow, maybe Nifty will outperform. But if you look at the overall picture for next 2 to 3 weeks, or maybe for October expiry, definitely Bank Nifty is going to outperform because yet Bank Nifty is, if you have a comparative chart with Nifty and Bank Nifty, there is a divergence of 3%. So still there is a space where Bank Nifty could outperform Nifty with 3% in coming weeks. So definitely, if you are expiry player, buy Bank Nifty for October expiry. But if you want to do BTST, you should go with Nifty.
Okay, got it. Well, we will thank you, Kush, for being with us on this special trade, helping us understand as far as the market strategies and various stocks and sectors are concerned, what should be ideal strategy now. Thanks a lot and appreciate your time with us. Markets further gaining some momentum as we are just close to that, 330 mark. 70 points higher now, 25,450 and thereabouts is what the Nifty is hovering at. So you're seeing this pullback coming into the markets. What has supported this market move on the higher side? It's the banking space, especially the private banks. Kotak Mahindra Bank is up in trade. Those are some of the banking names. Even ICICI Bank, that's also contributing higher. The top 5 movers on the Nifty are NTPC, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Titan, Nestle, Tata Consumer Products. These are the stocks that are higher by upwards of 1% and 1.5%. Private banks, consumer durables, autos, FMCG, realty, financial services. These are the pockets that are actually holding up. But what has slipped lower? Oil and gas, media, mid and small caps, PSU banks, pharma, metals, they're all down in trade, and even the IT space is down in trade. Let's look at the top losers right now on the Nifty. The key drags on the Nifty are BPCL down 3.5%, Coal India down 1.5%, ONGC, Adani Ports, L&T, Shriram Finance. These are the kind of stocks that are all low in trade as well. Let's look at the F&O picture then. F&O movers are Hindustan Copper, United Breweries, Oberoi Realty, AU Small Finance Bank. These are the pockets that are moving up as far as the F&O is concerned. On the downside, Vodafone Idea down by 19.3% in F&O and over 18.9% in the cash markets. Chambal Fertilizers, Indus Towers and Birla Soft RBL Bank are the other top drags as far as the F&O space is concerned. So there you have it, viewers. 25,445 is the closing level on the Nifty right now. The screen has frozen. The Nifty Bank up by 0.5%, 300 points higher. 53,056 is protected on the street right now. But remember, today we had an all-time high of 25,611. We will be referring to that from tomorrow onwards again as the next intraday high level, as we need to now breach these fresh high levels too. We'll wind up at that. It's been a tough and a volatile day at large. Broader markets in deeper pain. Let's see whether tomorrow is a better day, whether the recovery comes back. How do the global markets also give us a cue, and what happens back home as far as the FII flows are also concerned, whether they will be able to share any insight on how the trade follows next going forward from here. Until then, many thanks for tuning in, but do stay tuned on to Business Today Television. A lot more is going to be lined up for you beyond the stock market hours as well. IT space, the way it got the drubbing yesterday, 3.5-4% lower on an intraday levels as well. How are you looking at the IT story unfold from here on now that we have the rate cut starting?
Fortunately, I think with the cut in the interest rate, the availability of funds for the corporate would be, I think, far more better at a